in observance of the Fair Elections Act on behalf of Mr. Tambuadco. Right here on the program is Mr. Ting San Diego, the convener of the movements against dynasties, discussing to us the difficulties, for example, of garnering 5.2 million signatures, is that correct? To initiate the People's Initiative, rather, against, well, political dynasties.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that there is a requirement, aside from the 5.2 million number of signatories, you need to gather it, to divide it at 3% per district, am I correct?
Not aside of, this is, the 3% is a requirement. Of the 5.2 million signatures that you will gather, the 3% for every congressional district should be included in that already.
3% of
That's
the
a total of
5.2
5.2 million signatures. The problem is how to gather the 3% from each congressional district, which I think numbers to about 200 plus. Registered
voters.
3% from each congressional district.
So is there hope for this initiative, for this signature campaign that you're going through? As you said earlier, it's
well,
next to
again,
impossible. Is there hope? What do you think?
We're not, I mean, we're not negative about if there's hope, there's always a chance to get to whatever we want to get to for this advocacy to succeed.
How many signatures have you gathered so far?
Well, we have no exact number right now because it is in the
like
process.
30%?
Everybody's we don't have any percentages yet. It is in the process of being gathered all around the country. So we cannot yet come up with any definite number of signatures.
But is there a deadline for you to
There
gather
is no deadline because, as I said, we can go all the way to 2016 elections. The deadline for us now is to how to make our campaign effective. Ito yung tinatawag naming isa lang kada angkan para sa bayan. That is our battle cry. Isa lang kada angkan para sa bayan. We are trying to educate the people that they should only vote for one family in this coming elections.
Yes.
Kasi alam mo, 100 in the statistics, 175 families control 80% of the country. Can you imagine?
So that's 80% controls, both political and economic control.
No, everything.
Everything.
If you say dynasty, they are just like mini dictatorial government, wherein one family controls almost everything that goes within a certain town or a certain province. That is the effect. That is why in all these statistics, in all these studies, it is the cause of poverty. It is the cause of corruption. And it is the cause of unequal distribution of the law.
Well, you said earlier that 80%
Of the country,
yes,
yes.
control.
Yes.
I think it would be one of the big challenges in vote buying. A factor in the 2010 elections because they have the machinery, they have the finances.
That
to
is
buy
why
votes.
we are asking. This will be the last time that there will be something like this to fight or to put an end to dynasties. That's what we believe in because it is only now that the people have been agitated. They woke up and found out that this is something that we have to put an end to. It is only this time. So we are trying to help out in telling people that they should put down the dynasties. They should put an end to it. Without them, well, there's nothing we can do about it. That's why we are approaching all religious sectors, all organizations, yung mga senior citizens, the student body, and so on and so forth. Everybody should pitch in here and do his thing for us to succeed in putting an end to dynasties. Because if there is a closure to this, then the law, as it is provided in the Constitution, will provide equal opportunities to everybody who would wish to serve the government. Eh ngayon wala na eh. Pagka candidate na gusto mo ng posisyon. Tapos ang lalabanan mo governor, mayor, lahat na isang pamilya na ano pa ang pag-asa mo, no? With all the power and the wealth.
No voter does not realize that when you vote for entrenched political dynasties or political leaders, you are also giving away your access or your opportunity, for example, to also participate
because
in good
at that
governance.
time they did not mind too much about these things. They think they have a good life. What we're trying to do here is, if you have a good life now, if you put an end to dynasties, it will be better. So you see, people keep on complaining about poverty, about this and about that, but the main element of the answer to their complaints, they have not even considered, because complacent. They're complacent. Basta binigyan lang ng 1,000, 500, they just vote. You see, that's what's wrong.
And I think that's a consequence na hindi natin pinag-aaralan. We just think short term, hey, I get 1,000 pesos for voting for this
Ganon.
particular person. Not realizing that that person, if he gets elected into office because of the vote buying or because of his family name,
Yes.
you give away that opportunity, you give away the budget of the province, for
Oh.
example. You give away your right, for example, to those opportunities.
Yeah. They know that. They know that. It's just that it has not been embedded in their minds. Ito pala ito eh. That's why ngayon itong mga grupong to, all of these who are now coming together against dynasties, these are now the guys trying to show the people na ito yan eh. You know, you should wake up to this event, to this eventuality. Kaya ngayon naumpisahan na nila, ganun pala yan. So, we're asking everybody to come. Boto mo lang. Isa sa isang angkan.
Isa sa isang angkan.
Para sa bayan. This is all for the country. This is all for country. Alam mo, it would be ridiculous if people would say na masyado ka namang love of country. Is there such a thing?
But there should be.
There
Otherwise,
should
how
be.
should we
That
progress?
is what we're trying to do here. Yung meron bang patriotism dito? Each one is for himself You know, yun ang nangyayari.
In fact, the social scientist Randy David stated that political dynasties make our institutions weak, and that's
Exactly.
why we cannot meet the challenges that our other neighboring countries are facing, because they do not have the similar situation that is so well entrenched in the Philippine political.
That is why where you are and where we are, this is the position where we should use to spread out whatever we know about dynasties. Kaya tayo nagsama-sama, no? Kaya tayo tumatayo dito. What for? I mean, it's not for us. It's for the future. And we know it's all wrong. And we want to correct it. And this is the only way to correct it. What I was saying, if we don't succeed now, I would ask the Filipino people never to complain anymore. Dahil hindi mo ginawa yung dapat mong gawin. To put an end to all your complaints about corruption, about mga pag-abuse sa'yo, huwag ka na magreklamo. Kasi wala kang ginawa.
As you said, the movement against dynasty is not interested in entering politics. You are just campaigning, or rather spreading the word against political dynasty, spreading awareness. Do you meet opposition, for example, from those who are in political dynasties, those who are running for office this coming election?
For ourselves, we have agreed that this is our last hurrah, you know. We have lived so much time already. So this is our last hurrah. We are not anymore aiming or trying to gain anything out of this. You know, it's just the self-satisfaction of each and every one of us to be able to do something about this, maybe for the last time. So, with that question, we are not political. And we have stuck to that policy that our movement is not political. So that we will not be branded precisely that we are siding with one or the other.
So you do not endorse
no.
particular candidates?
But we are encouraging those candidates who have the same standing as we have against dynasties.
Whether or not they come from dynasties themselves.
Yes, because if they're against dynasties, they are most welcome to join us in the campaign against dynasties.
I think a major challenge for many of the contenders this coming 2013 elections is to sort of pledge support or sign an agreement that all of them, once elected, will not perpetuate political dynasties.
They have to do that. They have to do that. As you will have heard in the media, there are so many candidates who are against dynasties. And you know, these are the people that would benefit from this movement, because we are exactly against dynasties, and they have all these chances to be voted on. If the people will not vote for the dynasties, then who are there to take their place, except for those who are running now? Because for us, one candidate, the dynasties would say that we are qualified, we are overqualified. In other words, they try to say that we are more qualified than the others. No, as long as you are accredited to be qualified to run a position, our movement is we welcome you. You deserve a position, so therefore you will benefit more in this campaign if you are anti-dynasty.
Okay, you mentioned that on Wednesday you will release in a press conference your proposed definition of what a political dynasty would be, without revealing what that exact definition would be. For example, will that prohibit, for example, senator?
It's all there. No, we're not naming names here. In our movement, we have agreed that our policy is we're not going to attack any personality. You know, we are not going to name names as who are these dynasties that should not be voted on anymore. The people know that.
Yes,
the
but
people know
given that definition, will certain senators, for example, who are now incumbent, fall under that definition?
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, even the president, the family.
So they will fall under that definition?
They will fall under that.
Okay, very interesting. We'll watch out for this definition.
Yes, but this would not mean to say that as soon as this is ratified, maybe, who knows? It might not be even ratified by the COMELEC or in the referendum. But the thing is, if it is successful and it is ratified by the people, it will affect all of this relationship. But it will not be effective now, or I cannot say whether it will be effective in the year 2016. It will be effective as soon as the law has been passed as a law. That will be the time that it will take effect. So the effect of this on the running dynasties would come at a later time. At a later time.
So even when you release the definition, it will still not automatically disqualify, for example.
No. You have to bring it up to the people. You have to gather 5.2 million signatures.
I see.
And then with all of that, with your petition, the law, you present it to COMELEC for referendum. It still has to go in a long process. But our petition already defines what dynasties are, and we are open that this is going to be subjected again to a lot of legal opposition. But
you're ready.
Let's face it, when it's there already, the important thing is we have something to discuss at the end of the road. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. San Diego, for joining us in this program. This coming May 13, 2013, we are going to elect leaders. The process of elections is for the selection of the best and the brightest who can lead us and the country into the next years. So should we join, or should we elect rather those simply because we are familiar with their last names, or should we select leaders based on their capabilities? Let's find out. Isa lang. Bawat mamamayan. Thank you very much again, Mr. San Diego, for joining us. Join us again next week for another edition of Talk to Harry right here on GNN.
Thank you, Dr. Harry.
You are what you watch.